Hello guys, Solitaire Gaming here, back from their part of Killer Queen. Let's get started. For the same reason, everyone would become too scared to damage their collar to see if it would blow up or not. That would all but ensure that none of the collars would be broken. Even if they tried to break a collar, it wouldn't explode. Because all this was a show. Because this game was controlled by demons. Soichi believed that the show was inhumane, so he would break the collar. It was highly unlikely that it would work, but at least there was still a chance. A lot of tension in the air had vanished without anyone noticing it. Soichi's new positive attitude truly had done wonders. Everyone could generally celebrate Karen's newfound freedom thanks to it.
でも、さくみさん、すごかったよ。
Karen stared at Sakumi in wonder. The atmosphere was hearty. Right, but you didn't smash anything, did you?
でもそうしないと、みつるぎさん絶対頑張ってくれませんから。
Sakumi smiled vacantly.
これで一心同体、一連卓上です。
ooh, body. She seemed oddly happy.
いや、そうじゃなくて、死んだ人からみつるぎを奪い取ったのがすごいと思って。
ああ、私もそう思います。あ、
Sakumi's cheery voice suddenly grew quiet. She blushed and turned her back to the others as if trying to escape them. She then awkwardly pressed her fingertips against each other.
ごめんね、みつるぎ。私、とても無神経でひどいこと言ってると思う。それでも思うんだ。死んだ人に惹かれた人をこっち側に引き戻せるってすごいことだと思う。
Don't worry about it, I agree with you. Soichi himself was self-conscious of his actions. He'd been continuously obsessed with his dead girlfriend, using the living people before his eyes as excuses. He only looked at her, never seeing the people in front of him. He only been using them. How could I have been so arrogant and foolish? Soichi wasn't ashamed of what he'd done. At the same time, he was grateful. He was grateful to Sakumi for making him realize this. I've been screwing up like this for a long time.
こんなこと？
I've been messing things up only to have someone else snap me out of it for ages now. And this time around, that was a person I only just met. Sheesh. Soichi put a hand to his head as a bare smile was etched onto his face. The man apathetic. Though he didn't speak, that's what his smile appeared to be saying.
そっか。苦労してんだ、みつるぎも。
A bare smile rose to Karen's face as well. A second later, her smile became genuine.
ねえ、これが終わったらさ、
She then spread her hands
これ
out.
が全部終わって、みんな家に帰れて、私も妹が治療できてさ。
そしたら？
みんなで会いに行こうか。みつるぎの大事な人ってやつに。私たちの命の恩人に。
Wait a minute. Soichi frankly looked at Karen. Karen winked without the slightest hint of restraint.
いいじゃない、みつるぎ。いい男はケチケチしないの。
待ち合わせ場所を決めなくちゃいけませんね。
Sakumi nodded at Karen's proposal, then glanced at Soichi as she giggled. Flustered, Soichi looked at his companions with a deep red face. His hands idly waved about as if he was swimming. What a cute person, but he's also fragile. That's why I have to protect him. Those thoughts ran through Sakumi's mind as she looked at Soichi's. Fine, geez, and when shall we meet? Soichi said that with a resigned expression.
そうだね。妹も連れて行きたいから、年明けとかでもいい？
Sure. Even if Karen's sister got her surgery done right after Karen got home, it would still take at least that long for her to recover from it. But how about spring? It should be good for your sister's health, and there will be lots of cherry blossoms around her grave by then.
はい。
It'll be a wonderful experience for the five of them to meet up in the midst of cherry blossoms. She would also probably be proud of how he managed to keep his promise to protect everyone to the bitter end. Soichi was grateful to the three who had given him that path, particularly Sakumi.
お弁当作ります。
I can't stand cellars, so don't pack any of that.
好き嫌いは許しません。
わあ、厳しいね、みつるぎ。
That's just how I am. They were speaking of an uncertain future they weren't sure would come to fruition yet or not, but it's still a future full of hope. It happened around 5 p.m. The following words were suddenly displayed on the control room console regarding tool forbidden area accessor. Some messages have been sent from somewhere. Looks like they're playing along. Soichi broke out in a bold smirk as he looked at the screen.
乗ってきたってどういうこと？
The organizers of the game are responding to our earlier conversation.
メッセージを開くわよ。
No, don't. I guess I can guess what it says. Just reading it will be useless. Soichi shook his head.
そういうわけにもいかないでしょ。
Nagisa operated the console. Subject concerning tool forbidden area accessor. 1. Specs. Once installed, this tool sends out a jamming signal from a PA to the caller closest to it. Said jamming signal blocks the detonation signal that is sent whenever the player enters a forbidden area. The FAA must be manually activated from the PA's menu. Same goes for deactivating it. The battery can last for 104 minutes at most when it's live. 2. How to obtain. The initial distributed FFA will have no effect on the ace and queen callers. Do the following in order to obtain properly functional FFAs. If Reika, Yahata, and Mayomi Goda have died before the 6th floor becomes a forbidden area, the two FFAs will be placed in the non-combat area. That's all, and a message.
これは
Nagisa groaned. I knew they'd say that.
一人で笑ってないでどういうことか説明しろ三剣。
Karen turned around with a serious expression. In short, they accepted our proposal.
承認された？
Yeah. Soichi nodded. They're telling us to go ahead with our plan, that if we survive and win by rendering the callers invalid, they'll let us all go home and take Nagisa with us, like we said earlier. That's what this message means.
これが？
Yeah, but there are probably some people who are starting to bet on the outcome for us. Is that kind of bet possible, Nagisa-san?
ええ、十分にあり得る話だわ。
Should be possible to bet on every possible outcome in this show. It was similar to how British bookie worked. But they didn't want us to win without fights. That's why they set up this deal for us. Soichi gestured to the screen with his chin. According to what it said, Reika and Goda would have to die for them to obtain the software. It's telling us to fight those two, that is, to forget about finding a peaceful solution with Reika and eliminate her. Otherwise, it won't be much of a bet. If Soichi's group had made the deal with Reika, then they still had plenty of time left to search for the software in question. That would mean that the chance of them finding it and surviving would be so high that it wouldn't be much of a bet.
そんな、じゃあ殺しに行くの、宗一君。
Yeah, you really think he's gonna kill someone after all this time? Nagisa nervously looked at Soichi's face. Given the conversation they've been having earlier, she wouldn't be surprised if he did. Of course not. Yup. But Soichi shook his head clearly.
なんだ、脅かすなよ。
Karen sighed in relief.
皆さんオタオタしすぎですよ。三剣さんがこんなのに乗るわけないでしょうに。
Sakumi wasn't worried in the slightest. As if the endless trust she put into Soichi hadn't even wavered an inch. Well, it's quite good news.
どこがだよ。ソフトウェアで1時間稼ぐ方法はダメになったってことだろ。
True, but it also sounds like they'll let us take Nagisa back with us if we win, at the very least. If it hadn't been possible, they wouldn't have sent a message like this. There's no doubt that all they're asking for was crueler battle. It was likely that the only reason this was possible was because people had started betting on the prospect of Soichi's group taking Nagisa back with them. Heroic events like that should have been a welcome topic on that show. Soichi mentally sighed in relief. We should have a higher chance of breaking a collar as well in these circumstances. I don't know how high it is, but...
そっか、そうだよな。どのみち、ソフトウェアが見つかる保証もなかったんだもんな。
Exactly, it's not like we're doomed, but we need to stay calm. Otherwise we'll fall for their manipulations and end up showing them exactly what they want to see. Creak. Soichi sat down on the console, then stretched his limbs out.
宗一君、なんだか印象変わったわね。なんだかこう、ますます頼もしくなったというか。
Nagisa ran her hand alongside her cheek and smiled. You think so? But Soichi muttered a different answer in his mind. It was because their opponents in the game were no longer Reika and Goda. Now their opponents had become those on the other side of the lens. Not only were they responsible for everything, but they also deceived, incited, and used everyone here. But now that the group had turned the tables on them, their chance of survival had risen. Soichi's battle was now against the game itself. It was now past 6 p.m. There were 12 hours left, but by 6 a.m. tomorrow, this floor would become a forbidden area. Everything would definitely end by then. Where's Reika-san?
依然動きはないわ。残念だけど階段には行ってくれないみたいね。
I see. Soichi's shoulders slumped in disappointment.
これでレイカさんとは戦わざるを得ないってことですよね。
Fortunately, this long period of peace would soon reach its end. Even though they didn't plan on killing them, they still had to fight and subdue their opponents. They didn't have time to run around avoiding conflict and breaking their collars after all.
どうしよう。このままここで待ち受ける。それとも撃って出る？
I kind of have a hunch that it'll be safer if we fight them there here.
いいのか？
No. Soichi looks sullen. I don't like this at all, but I think Reika-san will kill us if we don't do this.
どうして？
Soichi was worried about why Reika was choosing to fight them. It was 4-on-1, and in a flat-out battle, Reika had no chance of beating them. What's more, they offered her a deal. The benefits of accepting the deal and the downsides of fighting should have been huge in this situation. Reika wouldn't be seeking a fight unless she had a good reason that allowed her to ignore those. Soichi explained all this to his companions.
そうね。私も宗一君の意見に賛成だわ。
Nagisa nodded.
彼女が圧倒的な何かを持っていることは考えておいた方がいいわね。
Something so powerful that will grant her the option to fight. Just how long had it taken her to find something like that? But they haven't seen her find anything like that during their periodic checkups on her with the surveillance cameras. It's true she'd been stockpiling guns and grenades, but she already had those beforehand. Just then... Whoa! The power in the control room suddenly went dead. Oh no! The room was locked up in a jet black darkness. A second later, the emergency lights switched on. Four of them all stood up and looked for each other's face in the dim room.
電源を落とされた？
Must have been the managers. We have both you and the control room on our side. They know we have a huge advantage over Reika-san if we keep staying here.
出ましょう。今入ってこられたらお互いに位置がわからないまま戦い合うことになります。
Good point. If they stay in the control room or secret passages, then the no detection software could find them. On the other hand, that also certainly meant that they wouldn't be able to detect Reika even if she was only a short distance ahead of them. She got that close to them and they just end up both fruitlessly fumbling around in the dark for each other. That put the group and their mission to keep all four of them alive to the end in great danger. After gathering their belongings, the group very reluctantly left the control room behind them. Familiar sound ran out shortly before the group exited the secret passage. Once Soichi took out his PDA, he immediately realized why. The survivor count had dropped to 5, so Go is dead. Carrie and Nagisa called up their respective maps to find out that one of the blips had vanished.
誰か死んだみたい。
Carrie nervously looked up.
宗一君、どっちだと思う？
Probably Goda. I find it hard to believe Reika-san would lose in these circumstances. It was hard to imagine that Reika, who's armed enough to risk challenging Soichi's group, would be done in by Goda so easily.
三剣、まずいぞ。
What's wrong? Karen's nervous voice shot tension into Soichi's heart.
もう一人の PDA も消えた。
私の方にも反応なしです。
例の消えるソフトでしょうか。
Probably, she'd be coming to settle things with us soon. The speed of Reika's determination was astounding. So that's it. Soichi finally realized why the organizers had cut the power to the control room. It would be difficult for Reika to make effective use of that determination if Soichi's group had control of the surveillance cameras in the control room.
宗一君、どうする？このまま出る？それとも戻る？
Keep going. After a moment of hesitation, Soichi made his decision. It's still frustrating though that he says, I won't kill anyone, but I'll let others kill for me. I mean, really? Let's keep going. If we're going to have to fight anyway, let's do it in a place that gives us an advantage. We still have a few dozen minutes. If a battle was inevitable, then they preferred to have it in a wide place where it was easy to see. The control room made them invisible to a PDA, but its narrow structure made it unfit for combat. By the time they spy each other, Reika would already be in range to deliver a final blow, so going back would be suicide.
ならここかな、エレベーターホール。
Sakumi looked at the map and muttered that it was just as big as the staircase hall if you only took its width into account. Since Reika might be expecting them to go to the staircase, it doesn't sound like a bad idea. After all, she could have set traps up at the staircase. What's more, when Soichi thought about it carefully, he remembered that Takayami's corpse should still be there. It would probably be hard on all of them to go back, Soichi himself included. Yeah, sounds good, let's go. We should be fine so as long as we have cover from bullets. Then we shouldn't have to have any problems, even if we appear on our PDA. But is that true? A twinge of uneasiness crossed his mind. Will something like that be enough to counter Reika's trump card? No, I'm overthinking this. Soichi shook his head hard and started walking. They had no more time to linger around.
こうやって敵を待つのって何度目でしたっけね。
Sakumi muttered this as she pressed her back to the wall. Good question. In actuality, it hadn't been that many times, but Soichi couldn't give her a number.
でもこれで最後だよ、さくみさん。
Yeah,
そうですね。本当にそうだといいです。
The group had arrived at the elevator hall. Perhaps it also served as a small event hall, and it was quite spacious. The group was in the middle of the hall, in front of the elevator. All hallways that led to the hall were about 20 meters away from that spot, and the hall also had its corner slightly ahead of them to hide behind. And at the very least, it would have been easy to make it so the doors to the rooms that faced the hallways didn't open. Thanks to that, they gained an unobscured view of everything up to 30 meters away in each direction. With this setup, they should be able to avoid any surprise attacks. If Reika had taken the Gatling gun and rocket launcher in the storehouse, then it would have been another story, but it would be quite difficult for her to bring those all the way here on her own.
ここにいて問題なのは手榴弾くらいかな。
Karen surveyed their surroundings restlessly.
手塚くんみたいな使い方もあるしね。
But you have cover this time, so it'll be different from then. The elevator hall itself didn't have all that many features to it. Fortunately, there were several structures and pillars erected in the hall that they could use for cover. In fact, they were hiding behind one as they spoke. It should be okay, but
悪いことばかり立て続けに起こったから、私たち少し神経質になっているのかもしれませんね。
Suckman concluded it with that. It was now past 7 p.m. They'd been hiding here for approximately half an hour. There were 11 hours left until the game ended. No, to be accurate, there were 12 hours left, since they need to survive for an hour after that. They finally come down to the group having no other choice but to subdue Reika and remove Soichi and Sakumi's collars. Tension and fatigue they built up over the last 2.5 days were making it hard for them to concentrate. You just need to hold up for a little while longer. Thoughts like that were all that were keeping them going. Not even the invisibility functions of the PDA would last forever. That's why they didn't overlook the flickering shadow at the edge of the hallway.
三剣さん。
Sakumi whispered. Soichi could feel nervousness in her voice.
来ました。
Where is she? Soichi moved to cover Sakumi, then stared down the hallway she was looking at.
あそこ、あの角で何かが動きました。
Sakumi was pointing at the hallway in front of the elevator hall, a crossroad that lay just a bit further ahead. Are you sure?
多分、ちらっとでしたけど、あの服の色は間違いないです。
Sakumi nodded with a tense expression on her face. Should only be one other person left in this building, so Sakumi could have only seen Reika.
どうする？
There's only one thing to do.
そうね。ずっとそうしてきたんだもの。最後もそうしましょうか。
はい、お任せします。
いいよ。私は御剣やそうでなくては首は外せてなかったから。
Everyone was in agreement. Soichi nodded and took a deep breath. Reika-san, he called out to her. You don't have a reason to fight anymore, right? In the end, the group would never resort to any silly sly actions. If any PDAs will give them to you, please drop your weapons.
そうしたいのは山々だけどね、三剣。
Reika's high and sharp voice echoed through the hallway. She really was just up ahead, though they couldn't see her. Then why?
こんな状態でどうしてお前たちを信じられる？
Why do you think we ever tricked you?
長沢を殺し、手塚を傷つけた。お前たちが戦う連中なのは分かっている。
But we didn't start any of those fights. The group was ready for a defensive battle should worst comes to worst.
じゃあ私も殺すか？ただ
Reika-san, please calm down. We have two spare PDAs I can give you. And no more use for Karen's and Nagasawa's PDAs after all. So why are you fighting?
それが本物だという保証は？
The real
ジ
deal?
ョーカーのことは私も知ってる。だからその見分けのつく高山と組んだ。
I see, I get it now. Soichi finally understood. Reika had no way of finding out which PDA was the Joker on her own. That's why she formed an alliance with Takayama, since PDA had that very ability. She couldn't risk otherwise. If she were to destroy the Joker by mistake, her collar would explode due to destroying the wrong number of PDAs. So a safe way to avoid that was to gather all the PDAs. In other words, so you're saying that's why you're trying to kill us, all of us? Because there's no other way?
そうよ。あなたたちがくれるという PDA が本物である保証があって。
We don't have the Joker anymore. Tezuka destroyed it when we tried to give it to Takayama.
それを私に信じろと？
That's right.
残念ね。それは無理だわ。
You're crazy. Why won't you believe us?
決まってるでしょ。その方が安
You
全だからよ。
stupid girl. Soichi instinctively recoiled at Reika's high voice. Just then, Sakumi noticed something odd. What's up with Reika's voice? The voice was indeed Reika's, no doubt about that, but something about it was off. She thought maybe it was because it was echoing down the hallway, but that didn't seem right either. She had tried to say what it was, then it sounded like Reika was talking through a thick door. Imagining things? In the end, Sakumi chalked it off to that. Soichi was too focused on negotiating to notice that. Nagisa had never heard Reika's natural voice, and Karen had only heard her behind the walls. It was impossible for either of them to notice it. So because Sakumi didn't realize it, the matter went completely unnoticed.
私が4人殺しているのを知っているでしょ。そういう人間に対してあなたたちがどういう感情を抱くかぐらい想像がつくわ。
But we don't want to kill you.
そう？あなたたちの中に私を殺そうとする人間が混じっていたって私は。
There's four of us, only one of you. You should know it's way too risky for you to fight us.
それはどうかしらね。
Soichi racked his brain around his confident attitude. Around her, where is she getting all this confidence from? Does she really have a new weapon?
まあいいわ。お話はこれでおしまい。この陰気な建物にも飽きたわ。とっとと終わりにしましょう。
Reika-san. Reika ended the conversation on her own. Guys, get ready. Everyone had already grabbed their weapons before Soichi said that. They were firmly set on shooting as soon as Reika came out. Soichi also held up his rifle. He then placed the gun barrel against the pillar he was hiding behind so he can stabilize it. Bum bum bum. If it was going to come down to violence anyway, then I'll shoot. I won't let Karen or Sakumi do it. I don't want to make Nagisa shoot any more than she already has. And if it's absolutely necessary, then I'll... Soichi gripped his gun on instinct and filled his fingers with strength. At the moment, he spotted Reika's clothes jutting out from the corner of the hallway. It's now or never. Soichi then pulled the trigger. Bang bang. The short, rapid fire went flying down the hallway in an attempt to intimidate Reika, but she didn't expose her body any further than that. She swung just like her arms like a... She swung just her arms like a baseball pitcher and threw something. Clang! It's a grenade! Grenade? Guys, take cover. Soichi took cover behind the pillar immediately. The inevitable explosion wouldn't reach him as long as he hit there.
ソイチ君、あれは
And Nagisa shouted.
ダメよ、ここにいちゃまずい。みんな逃げて。
Nagisa pushed her squatting companions forward.
早く、あれはガス弾よ。武器なんていいから早くここから逃げて。え？
Just then, when Sushi's group had taken only a few steps away, a grenade-like object started fiercely spraying gas behind Sushi's group.
息を止めて、行くのよ。
Sushi's group ran desperately. Nagisa, the one urging on the group from the back, suddenly coughed violently. She inhaled a lot of the gas. Sushi caught her, then brought her out of that hallway, out of that into the hallway.
いいから行くのよ。動けなくなる前に。こんなところすぐガスが。
Nagisa desperately tried to get the group to move. She focused her fading consciousness, grasped Suchi's arm, then urged him on desperately. She also understood what Nagisa was trying to say. That gas caused an unpleasant feeling sensation to run through the body just by coming in contact with the skin. Their eyes hurt, so even inhaling a small amount of gas would make their chests burn, and cause them to get dizzy. So this is why she was so confident, huh? Gas. There was no way to run from it if it was used indoors. Since there was no wind here, there was no weapon more dangerous than in a closed-off space. Suchi frankly rounded a corner while dragging Nagisa. Not even a single thought of leaving her behind entered his mind. Reika threw a new gas bomb. This one landed in the hallway they were in. Reika was coming after the group while throwing gas bombs. She had to be wearing a gas mask. There's no other explanation as to how she could be walking through the gas with no ill effects. We're screwed. Soichi soon came to that conclusion. We'll never get away if this keeps up. We'll be swallowed up by the gas one by one, and then she'll probably kill us. That was probably how she'd taken out Goda. Then there's only one way out of this. Soichi resolved himself. Karen, Sakumi, take care of Nagisa.
Mitsurugi, お前はどこへ?
I'll do something about Reika. The best defense is good offense. That saying was probably true in this situation. Soichi's sudden attack completely took Reika by surprise. The first thing he did was reach out for the gas mask covering her face. If he could remove the mask, then she'd be guaranteed to faint along with him, meaning his comrades would be safe. Reika herself wasn't very well versed on the gas bomb's powers, but she also had no idea of just how ruthless Soichi was. What's more, she could barely make out anything due to the gas. That's why it was easy to grapple with her as she chased after Soichi's group from the hall and threw gas bombs at them. She never expected anyone to come back through that thick gas. Soichi had used that overconfidence to his advantage. Damn you!
Mitsurugi?
Soichi quickly closed the distance between himself and Reika, then tackled her, causing both of them to fall to the ground. Soichi had honestly planned on relying on his companions this time, but he didn't have that luxury. He couldn't last long in this dense gas. Why don't you trust us? We all want to get out of this hell alive, so why? Reika threw her body to the floor in order to dodge Soichi's hand.
見ず知らずのお前たちに命を預けろっていうのか？冗談じゃない。
Even Reika considered that idea, but she still was plagued with intense doubt and suspicion that prevented her from accepting it. Four people had come together in a situation where you couldn't trust others. You just simply couldn't trust them. She couldn't help but think they were hiding something dark underneath their friendly facade. The reason why she was so obsessed with believing that was because she already killed people. If I can trust them, then why did I dirty my hands? Those thoughts caused her to deny the concept of trust. Then why does someone like you have to return? Then what does someone like you have to return to? Soichi kept shouting. He didn't care if the gas got in his lungs. He was short on time whether he talked or not. Now it's the only chance to get through to Reika. What will someone like you, who didn't trust anyone here, do there? Who will you be happy with? At the moment, Reika stopped struggling for moments. Soichi was angry at Reika. He was unbelievably frustrated at her attitude of not understanding or thinking about anything. She wouldn't trust them, so would she be able to trust anyone once she returned to her everyday life? Wouldn't she go home merely continuing to fear betrayal? Then she'd be the same as she was here. She had no place to return to. You're gonna go home with no one to greet you and console yourself by thinking you're so smart. Will that satisfy you? You have nowhere to go back to. You'll always be alone no matter how much time passes.
うるさい。
Reika reached out for the gun she carried under her dress while continuing to rip. But since Soichi had her right arm locked, that didn't go well. Her fingers kept grazing it over and over, but she couldn't get a grasp on it. However, the gas started to surround Soichi, draining his strength fast. He got emotional and was shouting too much. Are you just gonna use people you need, just like you used Takayama? But Soichi didn't care. He already torn off Reika's mask. He could leave the rest up to his comrades.
そうだ。私はお前たちを利用して生きて帰る。
Come back where? To a world where you are alone? Oh, I see now. As his conscience grew dimmer, Soichi finally realized it. That he himself had been exactly like this up until Sakumi had slapped him. He trusted no one and only used others for the sake of living righteously. And he hadn't actually wanted to protect them. He just needed them to prove himself. Reiko was another Soichi. She trusted no one and he only used others for the sake of surviving this whole ordeal. Then what's the difference between us? Soichi finally found that answer. Reika, look at me, trust us. The gas burned his throat and chest.
今さら何を言う。
Reika's gun discharged. The bullet then flew forward, cutting through Soichi's cheeks. Wham! Soichi slammed Reika's arm to the floor. The intense impact sent the gun flying from her hand. Slam. It's okay, don't be scared. You have nothing to fear. Soichi's had reached its limits. His strength left his body. Then it collapsed on top of Reika.
mitsurugi.
It's okay, you don't have to be scared. Before they knew it, Reika's struggling had been brought to a complete halt by Soichi's desperate words. Because we're not strong enough to betray you. Reika herself also found it strange that she should stop fighting back. You're saying I'm scared, me of all people? Tell you what, when I wake up, let's talk about ourselves, about where we came from, who we are, and what. But Soichi didn't manage to finish that sentence. He lost consciousness from all the gas he inhaled. Reika crawled out from an out limp Soichi. Since she had a lot of gas too, that actually took a lot of effort. Now that she made it out, Reika surveyed what little she could see around her. It's hard to breathe. Her eyes felt like they were burning. The gas was already taking its toll on her. She spotted two objects. They were the gas masks that Soichi had removed and a gun that he knocked out of her hand. Reika slowly reached out for one of them. For her body approaching at the limit, she didn't have time to grab both of them. Everything she had done ever since coming here, and Soichi's words were flashing through in her mind. She split from Soichi and the others, joined up with Takayama shortly after, then killed two players. She then finished off the wounded Teisuka. Then she killed Goda. In spite of all these horrible things she'd done, Soichi had still told her that she didn't have to be scared. Bang. Single gunshot echoed. The biggest difference between Reika and Nagisa was whether or not they had to risk their lives at this point in time. Nagisa acknowledged her own mistakes and had been able to risk her life for Soichi's group on top of that, and she was able to believe that was her own path. But Reika was different. If there had been any enemies left, whether they were Nagasawa or Teisuka, she could have protected Soichi's group from them, and probably could have found her worth by actively exposing herself to those enemies. For Reika to acknowledge her mistakes would have meant that the deaths of the four she killed would have been nothing for nothing. She repeatedly engaged in unnecessary battles. She unnecessarily massacred people. She had to admit everything she'd done had been pointless, and also have no way to find worth in herself. To Reika, that's what trusting Soichi would result in. Tell you what, when we wake up, let's talk about ourselves, about where we come from, who we are, and what's. Reika was an ordinary college student, but she compensated for the risk of trusting others by killing people. That was all in order to protect her own life. But that was no excuse. That's why she felt like it was too late for her to back out later on. She felt like she had no choice but to shoot Soichi. If she didn't, then all that blood she spilled would have been in vain. That's so stupid! Even so, her finger didn't move, but she had to shoot. Soichi hadn't used any weapons against her during their fights. The knives and the gun, just as ways remained sheathed. In the end, he only used them for intimidation. If he had shot, he probably would have won. That's why I never did something so simple all the way to the end. Can I really shoot someone like that? So it was all that acting? Soichi had said himself. Where would she go back to? How much ease would it bring her if an enemy were to show up right then and there and shoot her? In the end, Reika was scared. She was scared whether or not she could trust herself, or if there was any value to her simply existing. That's why she wanted to feel grateful when she happened to be tackled to the floor at that moment. Bang! At the same time, her body pitched forward, pressure filled her fingers. She accidentally pulled the trigger. The ejected bolt flew over Soichi and recoiled off the floor. Thank God. Once she seen that he hadn't been hurt, Reika slowly lost consciousness. Oh, that was a close one. Cough. Soichi opened his eyes and immediately let out a large cough. Coughing. The gas bomb, Reika, the scuffle. That's right, what happened to Reika-san? Soichi quickly heaved himself up. Sakumi noticed Soichi's regaining consciousness and ran up to him. Sakumi-san, what happened to Reika-san? Sakumi wiped the small trace of tears forming in her eyes and smiled.
無事ですよ。レイカさんは隣の部屋で休んでいます。
I see.
先ほど首輪を外されて以降、呆然となさっておいでですけど。
Sakumi's expression darkened when she said that. I see, and the others?
無事ですよ。三剣さんのおかげです。
Sakumi used her right arm to point at their surroundings. They appeared to be in the non-combat area. Not too far away was Karen, who was looking through their belongings for some reason, and Nagisa, who was looking at the stove. The two then noticed Soichi's gaze, turned around, and gave them cheerful smiles. Now that Soichi had confirmed that everyone was okay, his shoulders dropped with relief. Soichi's comrades had taken the unconscious Soichi and Reika to the non-combat area. Fortunately, the gas wasn't lethal, so its effects wore off after he spent some time in the room. The fifth floor became a forbidden area shortly afterwards. Soichi had woken up just after that occurred. I'm sorry, Sakumi-san, we're not going to get that software after all.
構いません。そのために人を殺すようなあなたなら、私は。
They'd been told to kill Reika to obtain it. But at the very end, Soichi couldn't bring himself to shoot Reika. Even though he'd been determined earlier to shoot if necessary, he just couldn't do it.
それにもう一つ方法はあるのでしょう。
But it's highly unlikely it'll work.
率は関係ないです。数字だけなら私が今こうしている確率なんてありえないほど小さな数字だったはずです。
Sakumi answered the apologetic look on Soichi's face with a broad smile.
大事なのはそういった道を選ぶことです。数字は問題じゃない。
Yeah, you're right. And this is where I'll be stopping off for a day. Thanks for watching this part of Killer Queen. Have a great day or night wherever you are, and please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and please comment if you found anything interesting in the video.